Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in front of us is the 2023 Ford F250 SuperDuty. This is the XLT, finished off in iconic silver, and we have a lot of laps to do because this is a massive truck to walk around and check out. This also has an MSRP just shy of $80,000, but it's a workhorse. We'll go over all of those specs, so of course we can see the performance and power that this has. So underneath the hood for this model, this has the 6.7 liter Powerstroke V8 diesel. It's paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission, and this pumps out 475 horsepower, 1,050 pound-feet of torque. This weighs in right around 7,300 pounds and has a fuel capacity of 34 gallons. Now there's really no MPG specs for a vehicle like this. This is built for towing, but it does have some aerodynamic characteristics to help with the fuel economy, but that's not your main priority when buying a vehicle like this. So let's work our way to the exterior styling now, where the biggest change, a slight change with the cosmetics, is the headlights. They're all LED, of course, with that LED DRL surrounding it, but now the grille weaves its way through the headlight, high beam, and turn signal, going back to the center of the grille there. So I think it's a really cool change, very subtle, of course, because the rest of it is virtually identical. Massive Ford logo with the forward-facing camera, all of the cutouts in the grille too. There's fog lights, more cutouts just behind the license plate frame with tow hooks on both sides, and then that lower air dam just to help with some of the aerodynamics and that MPG. Now SuperDuty is also stamped in the hood, which is no change, and some nice lines that come down the hood. It's a massive truck, but everything is very proportional for its design. Now as we work our way to the side, this has a set of 20-inch wheels with a multi-spoke design to them. Tires are pretty narrow for this model, just to point that out, but they are very capable, of course. Now there's the F250 badge with the XLT behind that. We have some matte black trim accents with the 6.7 liter badge down below. Now these massive side mirrors have the turn signal, there's a spotlight, and they telescope, so they go outwards. So if you're towing, that just gives you some better visibility. There's also fixed running boards, and then we have the line just above that badge going all the way to the rear tire. Like I said, massive truck, so to get it all in frame, we have to back up a little bit. Very proportional though for its size and everything on the exterior. Now interestingly enough, with the side step, kind of matches the running board there, but this one is used to get into the bed. So if you have some items up front, you can easily jump up into it. This has the dual exhaust located on that passenger side. And then in the rear, LED taillights. SuperDuty is stamped in the middle. There's the backup camera with all these sensors. And this has the body colored rear bumper that has additional steps. There's a grab handle, so that way if you need to enter this way, you have the tailgate down maybe, you can quickly get up. There's also a third way, which we'll come back to. This can also tow right around 22,000 pounds. Payload is just shy of 4,000. Now that will vary slightly. If you have the gooseneck trailer, you can get some more towing capabilities out of this truck. Well, let's hear it real quick because we can remote start this. I know a lot of diesel people will love that, so you can have it warmed up in the morning and ready to go. And then you can also use the key fob to open up the tailgate. It's a very slow process, but once it is down, now you have access to a large bed where you can put anything you want in the back. There's some areas where you can put tie-down hooks, even dome lights that you can turn on as needed. And if you want an easier way to enter, we have the step, which is nothing new from Ford, but just like that, we're up into the back. Now, if you're using this truck every single day, this 2-3 foot drop is not something that you want to do every day. So you have the staircase basically to enter the back. You also have a ruler if you need to use that. And then the tailgate is lightweight, so it is easy to close. We have a cool design for those taillights as well with the black accent trim pieces there. Now for the XLT, it's not a fully loaded model, but we have some nice materials for the inside with the black leather. There's the trim piece on the grab handle, release handle is tucked away nicely behind that, which I think is a good design. Bang & Olufsen sound system, 2 levels for your storage space, which is nice. And then interior has the 2-tone cloth seats. This is a massive truck. We have a lot of space. We even have a lot of hidden space too. So you lock this bottom up. Now we have a flat-ish bottom here where you can put in larger items. You can flip this all the way up and have a storage bin with the seat down. So if you have some items, it's similar to this one, just a little bit bigger. You can place items underneath and have that seat down. And then at 5'10", lots of space. I can almost stretch my legs completely straight out. Cup holders in the middle, auxiliaries and air vents. And I have 4 or 5 inches above my head. 3 full-size adults could fit in the back of this truck. There's the electronic sliding rear glass and plenty of storage, or plenty of visibility. It's very open in the back of this. Now the driver door panel, just like the rear, there's all the window adjustments, side mirror adjustments, and then this is how you can telescope those mirrors. Happens very quickly, but it gives you that added visibility when you need it. A lot more storage space in the lower section. And then same design for these front seats. They are manual and automatic, so you have a combination to adjust those as needed. And once we are in, we can fire this back up. You will see the animations there, also 75 years with that quick animation and the center infotainment system. Now for the steering wheel, we have a nice design. There's some trim accents in the lower section. This has cruise, lane keeping assist, volume, and Bluetooth. There's other audio or phone controls along with tuning, and then all of these are for this digital gauge cluster. Now the tach is on the left side, miles per hour is on the right. In the upper screen, all that fixed info is for your fuel, oil temperature, and a few other vitals. And then you can also go through a ton of info in the middle of the screen. So we have my view. If I go into that, you have driver assistance. There's also a calm screen if you don't want any info to be shown, trip information, fuel economy, there's tire pressure, and then you can even configure what you would like to see that I just showed depending on what you use the most. Now we can go back to trip information, go into the gauges, so you can monitor all of this additional vitals for this truck, which is important to have. You can go back to your off-road settings, so you can monitor your pitch and roll, the differentials, the locking diff, things like that. And then there's also towing, you have status and info, navigation, phone, audio, vehicle maintenance, and then settings to go into. So actually a lot that you can scroll through right at your fingertips for this info, or for this gauge cluster, which is nice. It's a really nice layout too. Now the stock on the right, this is how you shift. So for buyers who still like the column mounted shifter, you still get that. If we put it into reverse, this is the backup camera with the top down view. And then you also have a few other angles just depending on what you need to see. There's a trailer hitch, and then there's also one for the bed. So if you have some items there, you can monitor all of that. Now drive is of course all the way down, and then you can push on M for manual and use plus and minus to shift. So if you're towing, you can hold the gear, which is very beneficial. On the right side, these are spotlights for the side mirrors. You can turn those on, you can deploy the tailgate. There's all the headlight and fog light adjustments, e-brake, and a light for the cargo area. And then in the middle, a little bit of storage space with another speaker. And then coming back to the infotainment system, there's a lot that you can go through from your audio and phone. Pull up the nav in full screen. There's favorites that you can configure. There's apps to go into like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, different settings that you can go into to configure this as you'd like to, and then even features like the zone lighting. This will turn on your headlights, side mirrors, and tail lights, so you can use this at nighttime and get a lot of light. Now what I also love is this split screen design. So you can scroll through information on this right side and still keep what you have on the left side going. Now on the left side, there's the Pro Trailer system. So if you need some help backing up, you can use that. There's the trailer braking system, your four-wheel drive and rear locker. And right in the middle, there's volume and tuning. You have a few different ways you can have the infotainment system as well. So just depending on what you would like to see. There's tuning just underneath that, and then all of the climate adjustments, fan speed, temperature, where you'd like the air to go, and then heated seat controls. Now there's a lot more storage space down below with some auxiliaries, a little bit in the middle. You could place your phone sideways if you needed to there. And then you have 2 cup holders and a lot of space on this left side. Now what you can also do is get 4 cup holders now just by sliding this trim piece, which is very beneficial. I think that's a cool integration. There's storage on both sides of that too, along with in the glove box or the center armrest here, where you have a lot more, and then 2 glove boxes to give you additional storage, which is very nice. There's also more auxiliaries where you can charge electronics, and then a lot of space or visibility. There's really no blind spots. Now up top, there's all of the auxiliaries. If you need to add additional lights, maybe compressors, you have a factory area to put those. There's a sunglass holder, the rear window, which you can open, and then the dome lights are also up top. But now let's go ahead and get the SuperDuty out on the road. And we'll give it another acceleration. And just like that, up to speed. Now, one thing I will say, driving this $80,000 truck, it is massive, as hopefully you've been able to tell. So in parking lot situations, things like that, you have to just know what you're in, of course, and maneuver a little bit differently than you would in something smaller. In the parking lot, I really haven't had any issues with it. I'm used to driving some trucks like this every now and then, but it is a difference, especially compared to like a smaller size car like in front of us. So you just have to, of course, get used to where to park and things like that. But it's also easy to drive too. It's very wide. We have the mirrors folded in at the moment. So if I fold them out just for a second, it gets to probably over the double yellow with that width. So if you're towing, you just have to have your eyes aware of everything while you are towing with it. But it's easy to drive, very high up, so I have a good visibility of where I am, of course, but keeping it in between the lines. We do have the lane keeping assist, which is helpful if you need it, but it's easy to drive. You get used to the length of it very easily, and I love with the split design for the mirrors, I can have one aimed down at the tires and then one at the top of the back of the bed. So that way I have 2 visual points for even backing up, which is nice. So I can see curbs or anything, maybe the trailer, something like that. But $80,000 for this SuperDuty. Trucks are getting expensive. It is interesting to see the price increase across the board, not just with the model that I'm in right now. This is with every manufacturer. Trucks are getting more expensive, but they're also getting more capabilities, more technology, able to tow more perhaps, or do it more fuel efficiently. But it's a nice truck. If you are in the need for a work truck, this is on the top of my list, going with a Ford SuperDuty. Definitely has a lot of nice features, easy to drive, easy tech to use, nothing too confusing, and very comfortable too if you're putting a lot of seat time behind the wheel for your job or the fun activities that you enjoy. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video, checking out this 2023 Ford F250 SuperDuty XLT. Once again, a huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this truck for me today. Check out their website. Also give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.